بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله نبينا محمد النبي الأمين صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Understanding Fasting 3 فقه الصيام رقم 3. So inshallah tonight we're going to keep talking about things in masail and ahkam rulings that connected to fasting in order to fast properly inshallah in this coming Ramadan بإذن المولى عز وجل. So Moussa ibn Ahmed ibn Moussa Abu Naja in his book زاد المستقنع says وإذا قامت البينة في أثناء النهار وجب الإمساك والقضاء على كل من صار في أثنائه أهلا لوجوبه. He's talking about let's say we know that the month of Ramadan, how do we know that it is the time to fast Ramadan? Either by seeing the moon on the 29th of Sha'ban. Sha'ban is the 8th month of the Islamic Hijra calendar. So on the 29th, if we see the moon at night, so that means the next day is Ramadan. If we don't see the moon, so the next day is going to be the 30th of Sha'ban, and the following day is the 1st of Ramadan. So let's say for any reason we couldn't see the moon, or someone saw the moon on the 29th of Sha'ban, but he's away and he did not reach out to the authority in the Muslim country to inform them that he saw, or the two witnesses, they couldn't reach out to the authority in the Muslim country to tell them that they have seen the moon. And they've done that the next day, that the day we're thinking is the 30th of Sha'ban, but they do it by 10 o'clock in the morning. Clear inshallah? So it's the 29th of Sha'ban at night, and we have two Muslims, they have seen the moon, but they were not able to reach out to the authority to testify that they have seen the moon, so that the next day Muslim can fast Ramadan. But they reach out the next day and people were thinking it's the 30th of Sha'ban. So if that happens, we find out that it's the 1st of Ramadan, but it's 10 o'clock in the morning. What do we have to do? We start fasting from that moment on. But what he said is that we have to make it up after Ramadan, because we did not fast from the beginning of the day. We started from 10 o'clock. But the truth is, we don't have to. We don't have to make it up because we didn't know. Nobody in the Ummah knows or knew that yesterday somebody have seen the moon. So because of that, the next day we were thinking it's Sha'ban, the 30th of Sha'ban, and we're not fasting. But later on we find out it is the 1st of Ramadan. So we start fasting from that moment, and we do not have to make up that day after Ramadan. So it is the 1st of Ramadan, we start the fasting from the middle of the day, and our fasting inshallah is correct, and we do not have to fast again. Something very important that it could happen, especially in the States. We have a lot of Muslims becoming, a lot of people becoming Muslims. Okay? So if we have someone who's not Muslim, and let's say on the 7th of Ramadan at 12 o'clock noon, she or he becomes Muslim, what do they have to do? They have to fast from that moment on, and they do not have to make up that day. Why? Who can tell me based on the things, or based on our discussion from the previous lecture? He doesn't have, or she doesn't have to make it up after Ramadan. Why? Yeah, because they were not Muslim. So the ibadah was not obligatory upon them. They become Muslim at 10 o'clock. That's the moment they start fasting, all the way to the end of Salatul Maghrib. And they break their fasting with Muslims. Okay? And after Ramadan, they do not have to make up that day. So they start fasting from the middle of the day, إنشاء المولى عز وجل. طب يا إخواني، هذه مسألة مهمة جدا، وهي أنه إذا قامت البينة في أثناء اليوم في رمضان، نعلم أن الشهر في التقويم الهجري الإسلامي يدخل الشهر برؤية الهلال يوم 29 أو بإكمال عدة الشهر 30 يوما، فاليوم الذي يليه يكون الشهر التالي. فنفترض أنه في يوم 29 من شعبان شاهدين من المسلمين رأيا الهلال، لكن ما بلغوا هذا للسلطات إلى اليوم التالي، اليوم الذي نظنه 30، لكنه الأول من رمضان، فأبلغوا السلطات مثلا الساعة 10 صباحا. ماذا يجب علينا أن نفعل؟ نبدأ الصيام من تلك اللحظة، ولا نقضي بعد رمضان، لا نقضي، لأنه من الفجر إلى الساعة 10 ما كان لنا علم بأنه رمضان، ما نعلم هذا، وعلمناه من الساعة 10، فنبدأ الصيام من الساعة 10 إلى الغروب، وما نقضيه بعد رمضان. ومن المسائل المهمة أيضا وتحدث كثيرا هنا في أمريكا، مثلا شخص أسلم في نهار رمضان، افترض أنه الخامس من رمضان وأسلم الساعة 2 ظهرا، دخل الإسلام وأصبح مسلما، ماذا يجب عليه أن يفعل؟ يمسك من تلك اللحظة إلى الغروب ويصوم اليوم الذي يليه إلى آخر رمضان، ولكن لا يقضي بعد رمضان، لأنه قبل الساعة 2 ظهرا ما كان مسلما وما كانت العبادة واجبة عليه، فلا يقضي صيام ذلك اليوم، وإنما يمسك من الساعة 2 ظهرا، الساعة التي أسلم فيها، إلى آخر اليوم. طيب، then he says وكذا حائض ونفساء طهرتا ومسافر قدم مفطرا. So this is a very important مسألة that talks about if someone is allowed for him not to fast for a valid reason, but in the middle of the day that reason, don't touch the camera. So in the middle of the day, that reason, that excuse goes away. An example, someone who is traveling, okay? Let's say I'm flying back to the States from my country. So I arrived, I was in the plane and I was not fasting because I'm traveling. So I arrived by 12 noon. It's 12 noon, it's the time for fasting. People are fasting. What do I have to do? But I have already ate at 7, 8, or at 9 o'clock. I was traveling, so I was eating on the plane. But we arrived at 12 noon. What do I have to do? You don't have to fast. You do not have to fast. It's already permissible for you to break your fast in that day because you're traveling. You know, so that reason or that excuse is going to be good for you for the whole day. But what do you have to do? You make up that day after Ramadan. Once Ramadan is finished, you pick a day and you make up that day. Okay? So when you have a valid reason that's making you you allowed to break your fasting in the middle of the day, that excuse goes away. You're still allowed to keep not fasting, to keep making fitr. Another example, someone who is sick. Someone wakes up at 8 o'clock in the morning and he has fever. He can't fast. His body is so weak, so he has to take medication and eat something. So he took medication and ate something and he went to sleep at 8 o'clock in the morning because he's sick. And we know in the Quran Allah Azza wa Jal gave the permission for someone who cannot fast, someone who's sick, not to fast, because Islam does not want to kill people. So he doesn't have to fast. He take medication and went to sleep. He wakes up at 1 o'clock p.m. He's healthy. He's not feeling the fever anymore. So what does he have to do? He just has to keep making the fitr. He doesn't have to fast because that reason or that excuse is valid for the whole day. He doesn't have to make up that. He has to make up that day after Ramadan, but he doesn't have to keep fasting. Inshallah, clear, ikhwani. If anything is not clear, stop me and ask me. This is fiqh. We have to understand in order to fast properly, because this could happen to you in Ramadan. You make the intention, I'm not fasting because I'm sick. All of a sudden, I'm not sick. Do I have to still fasting? No. You keep making fitr and you make up that day after Ramadan. Another example again. A woman who's menstruating. We know women that menstruate, they don't have to fast. So the days that they are in their period, they make fitr, they eat, and after Ramadan, they make these days up. So let's say she was menstruating and at 2 o'clock p.m. she is clean. She's not menstruating anymore. And she took the shower and she is clean now and pure. What does she have to do? She can keep making the fitr till the end of that day, and after Ramadan she makes up that day. Okay? So whoever has any valid reason that allows him to break his fast, whether it's menstruating or traveling or sickness, and in the middle of the day, that excuse goes away, so they still can keep making the fitr, eating, not fasting, and after Ramadan they have to make up the day. They have to make up that day. Inshallah, this is clear. طب يا إخواني، هذه المسألة مسألة لمن كان له عذر للفطر ثم زال الفطر أثناء ثم زال العذر أثناء اليوم. عندك سؤال؟ المسافر عنده تحمل الوصول، ولا الأفضل لكن هو أفطر أصلا. أنا سأبين هذا. مثال: مسافر كان مسافرا ووصل إلى داره وأكل في أول النهار، أكل وشرب في أول النهار، ثم وصل إلى داره الساعة 1 ظهرا، هل نلزمه بأن يصوم بأن يمسك ثم يقضي اليوم بعد رمضان؟ ما يمسك، وإنما يقضي، لأن يومه أصلا هو أفطر، خلاص أكل وشرب، فيومه لاغ لا صيام له فيه، لا صيام له فيه. ومن الأمور التي سنتعلمها أن صيام الفريضة لا بد من تبييت النية فيه من الليل، فلا صيام له في ذلك اليوم، يأكل ويشرب إلى آخر اليوم ويقضي ذلك اليوم بعد رمضان. كذلك من كان مريضا، شخص كان مريضا ثم زال مرضه وبرئ من مرضه أثناء النهار، فهل نقول له لأنك الآن صحيح ولست بمريض فلا بد أن تمسك وتقضي؟ لأن هذا ما يقوله المؤلف، لكن هذا غير صحيح، لأنه ما عليه دليل من الكتاب لا من السنة ولا من السنة. فما عليه أن يفعل أنه يكمل فطره ثم بعد ذلك يقضي ذلك اليوم بعد رمضان. وكذلك المرأة الحائض، افترض أنها طهرت في وسط النهار الساعة 9 صباحا وقد أكلت وشربت قبل ذلك، فماذا عليها أن تفعل؟ تكمل فطرها ثم تقضي ذلك اليوم بعد رمضان بإذن الله. طيب، then he says: ومن أفطر لكبر أو مرض لا يرجى برؤه أطعم لكل يوم مسكينا. This is one of the masail that we have talked about. If someone is sick with a permanent sickness, someone who has cancer, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from all diseases, or someone who has diabetes and the doctor told him that if you fast you're going to be in severe pain, you're going to be in a serious danger for the rest of your life. Such person doesn't have to fast. What does he have to do? To feed a needy person per every day. He did not fast in Ramadan. Okay? And that also applies to the person who is old and cannot fast. Someone who's 70, 80, and the fasting weaken his body and make him very weak in a severe pain. Such person doesn't have to fast. What does he have to do? He has to make the it'am. I did talk about that in the previous lecture in details. So we have two ways of making the it'am. Who can tell me? Those who attended the previous lecture. How you feed the needy people, what is the quantity, and how you do it. I talked about two ways of doing that. Now. طيب احنا نتكلم عن المقدار كيف؟
مقدار نص ساعة اللي غير مطبوخ.
ممتاز. اللي هو بالكيلو؟
بالكيلو
1.5. وبالباوند 3.5 تقريبا. ممتاز. ما شاء الله. Excellent. So the answer is that we have two ways of making the it'am, feeding the needy people. Let's say someone is sick with permanent disease or permanent sickness, he can't fast. In Ramadan was 29 days. Okay? So he has a way which is the easiest way of feeding needy people. After Ramadan, he cooks food that's good for 29 people to eat and to become full. And he invite them and they eat. So that this way he is done and he has done his feeding. Or he can cook the food and put it in plates. Each plate has a quantity that's gonna make each person to be full. And he gives it out to the needy people. And that does not have to be rice. It could be any food that people eat in that country. Food varies from country to a country. Some countries you have to eat rice with meat. If there's no meat, then you're not gonna eat the rice. Some nations are poor, they don't have that. They just eat rice without meat. So whatever is the food for the country, so you make a meal, a full meal that's going to make the person full and eat and becomes full. So you make that, put it in place and give it out to 29 people or to 30 people if Ramadan is to 30 days, sorry. And the other way of making the it'am is that you feed uncooked food, and it has to be in the quantity of, it has to be nisfu sa', which is 1.5 kilogram, which is 3.5 pounds of rice, raisins, or barley, or any food, any grain that people cook and eat in that country. But that's a little complicated. The easiest one is just find 29 needy people, feed them till they become full, and you're done. Or put the food in the plates, make sure that the food is going to make each person who gets it to become full, and distribute it and gives it out to 29 or 30 people, and you are done. And we talked about that in details in the previous lecture. Yes.
بالنسبة يا شيخ للعجوز يعني بصير في سن النسيان فهذا غير مكلف يعني ما بصومش أو مش لازم يصوم.
لا مثلا صار مخرف خالص بحيث انه عقله مثل المجنون، لا يعقل ما يقول ولا يفقه ما يقول، هل هذا شأنه أم أنه يعني عنده عقله معه ويدرك ما تقول له لكنه ليس بذلك القوي وفهمه ليس بذلك القوي؟ كيف حاله؟ إن كان مثل المجنون بحيث أن عقله ليس معه فخلص هذا ليس مكلف، لكن إن كان عقله معه وأحيانا يجيء عنه ويذهب عنه فهذا نطعم عنه خلاص، لأنه عموما الكبير لا يجب عليه أن يصوم، غالبا الذي يصل إلى عمر 80 أو 90 في الغالب يعني قد الله سبحانه وتعالى يمن عليه بالصحة والعافية ويستطيع الصوم فيصوم، لكن في غالب الأحيان ما يستطيع الصوم، ففي هذه الحالة يطعم عنه إن كان ما يستطيع الإطعام. And something very important, if someone cannot fast and has to feed but does not have the food to feed, does not have the money to buy the food or to cook the food and give it out to people, he doesn't have to do nothing. Let's say someone who's sick with permanent sickness, but he doesn't have the money to buy the food and give it to people, so such person doesn't have to do anything. Just to pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cure him and give him prompt shifa and cure inshallah. فإخواني تكلمنا عن هذه المسألة وهي من أفطر بسبب مرض دائم أو من أفطر بسبب كبر الكبر الذي هو الكبر في السن، يعني كبير في السن، فهذا يطعم. وتكلمنا عن طريقة الإطعام، إما أن يصنع طعاما يكفي جميع المساكين بعدد الأيام التي أفطرها من رمضان، فإن كان رمضان 29 يوما يصنع طعاما يكفي 29 شخصا ويدعوهم ويأكلون وبذلك يكون قد أطعم وانتهى، أو يضع الأكل في الصحون، كل صحن يحتوي على أكل يشبع شخصا واحدا ويعطيه ل29 مسكينا أو 30 مسكينا حسب أيام الشهر في رمضان. وأيضا العلماء قالوا من الممكن أن يطعم طعاما غير مطبوخ ولا بد أن يكون نصف صاع، كيلو ونصف من الجرامات، أو 3 باوند ونصف تقريبا بالمقاييس الأمريكية بالباوند، ويعطيه للمساكين، كل مسكين يعطيه 3.5 باوند إما من الأرز أو من الشعير أو أي طعام كان يؤكل في ذلك البلد. Okay, so then he says وَيُسَنُّ لِمَرِيضٍ يَضُرُّهُ. And this is a very important mas'ala, and this is something that we must understand, because the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the deen of mercy. It's the deen of rahmah. Allah does not want you to kill yourself because of the worship. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ. Do not take yourself to the harm. So he says, وَيُسَنُّ لِمَرِيضٍ يَضُرُّهُ. Someone who's sick and fasting is gonna harm him. So what he says is that the fitr is sunnah for him. He is highly recommended not to fast. Someone who is sick, okay? And the doctors told him if you fast you're gonna be harmed, and he has experienced it. He fasted in the past and he was harmed. So if this is the situation, what the author is saying, al-mu'allif, he says the fitr, not fasting, is sunnah for him. If he fasts, there's no any problem. But the reality is there's a problem if he fasts. And it's prohibited for him to fast, because the fasting is taking himself to the harm. Okay? We have to understand this masala, ikhwani. We have a lot of people, sometimes they have diabetes and it's very dangerous, and the doctor tells them, do not fast. And when they fast, they are in trouble. They are sick and laying on the bed. You don't have to fast. Take it easy. Take it easy. Allah Azza wa Jalla does not want you to take yourself to the harm. وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ. وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ. Take it easy. That's the decree of Allah Azza wa Jalla upon you. He made you in that situation. In this sickness, inshallah, is going to be forgiveness for your sins. So just be patient and pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cure you. Don't kill yourself. Do not kill yourself. When is the time that we could encourage, or we can say it's allowed for someone to fast? If fasting will not harm him. He's sick. Fasting does not harm him, but it's really hard for him to fast. It doesn't harm him, but it's hard for him. So such person, he might fast. He can fast. But it's recommended for him not to fast. Allah does not want you to harm yourself. But someone who is for sure, if he fasts, he's going to be in harm, such person is not allowed for him to fast. It's not allowed for him to fast. نعم.
على سبيل المثال اللي عنده دايبيتس ياخذ هو السكر عند الافطار. ميديكيشن. بالافطار. عنده سحور ما بياخذ.
طيب.
لانه بينزل السكر بالنهار بيت ولا. انا يعني مجرب.
طيب هو السكر عموما الدايبيتس مش كله بيأثر في الصوم حسب درجته. أنا بتكلم عن من إذا صام الصوم يضره. فهمت؟ مثلا عنده مشاكل في الكلى أو أي مرض كان بدون تسمية المرض، بغض النظر عن اسم المرض، إذا صام الصوم سيضره، سيتضرر بسبب الصوم. فهمت؟ المؤلف يقول يجوز له أن يصوم والسنة له ألا يصوم، بل يحرم عليه أن يصوم، لأن صيامه يعني إلقاء بنفسه للتهلكة. الله قال ولا تلقوا بأيديكم إلى التهلكة، فلا يجوز له أن يصوم إذا علم أنه لو صام سيتضرر. هذا لا يصوم، وإنما يرأف بنفسه ويكون رفيقا بنفسه. والله عز وجل أرحم الراحمين، والله عز وجل دينه يسر وليس عسر. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها، هذا في القرآن. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها، فيأخذ الأمر بالساهل، لأنه بعضهم يعني يصعب عليه. كيف أنا لي يعني 40 سنة أو 50 سنة أصوم وفجأة لا أصوم، وبدأت الصيام من أنا يعني عمري 7 سنوات وكذا. الله عز وجل نسأل الله أن يكتب لك القبول فيما صمته، أما الآن الله عز وجل ابتلاك بأمر ابتلى به كثيرا من عباده، فالواحد يصبر. وهذا المرض بإذن الله يكون كفارة لذنوبه، لكن لا يقتل نفسه. متى نقول له أنه من الممكن أن يصوم؟ إن كان الصوم يتعبه ولكن لا يضره. في فرق بين أن يضره الصوم وأن يتعبه الصوم. إن كان يتعبه في بعض الناس عندهم سكر وكذا ما يضرهم لكن يتعبهم، فهذا قد نقول الأفضل له أنه ألا يصوم، وإن صام فصومه جائز. لكن من كان يضره فهذا لا يجوز له أن يصوم، وإنما يحرم عليه أن يصوم، لأنه بذلك يودي بنفسه إلى التهلكة. So my dear brothers, what I was saying is that it is very important to understand this. If he fasts, he's going to be in harm. He should not fast. It's prohibited for him to fast, because it's not allowed to any Muslim to harm himself or harm anybody. But if he fasts, it's going to be hard on him. There is a difference between being harmed and the fast to be hard on you. You can fast, but the fasting is so hard on you, but you're not going to get harmed. So in such a situation, we can say you can fast, but it's better for you still not to fast. But if the sickness will result in, if you fast, that you get harmed, so do not fast. It's prohibited for you to fast. Not allowed for you to fast. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not allow anybody to harm himself nor to harm others. So he must stay away from fasting and just make the it'am feeding. And Allah knows his intention, knows his niyyah, will give him the reward as the same person who fasts. So take the deen easy. The deen is ease, as the Prophet Muhammad said. The deen is ease, not to kill yourself. So take it easy, because I've seen a lot of people, they will not take it. How? I've been fasting for 50 years, and all of a sudden I will not fast with Muslims. That's the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on you. Just take it easy. Just take it easy and pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and one day Allah will cure you بإذن المولى عز وجل، بإذنه عز وجل. ولمسافر يقصر. And he's talking now about the musafir. It's sunnah for him not to fast. But we've talked about the musafir, how to fast. I did talk about that in details in the previous lecture. Who can tell us what you should do when you travel? Should you fast or not to fast? Yes, not to fast in general. So anybody who's traveling should not fast. Is that what I said? No. I didn't say that. I did talk about it in details. And I've been saying, Akhwani, if anything is not clear, stop me and ask me. It's very important to understand. You know, it's very important to السؤال يعني أنا قلت مثلا المسافر ما الذي ينبغي عليه أن يفعل؟ يصوم أو يفطر؟ وهذه مسألة أنا تكلمت عنها بالتفصيل في المحاضرة الماضية. يفطر بالإجماع. طيب النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يصوم في السفر. عن أبي الدرداء رضي الله عنه قال: خرجنا في بعض الأسفار مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وكان في يوم شديد الحرارة حتى أن أحدنا يضع يده على رأسه من شدة الحر وما فينا صائم إلا رسول الله وعبد الله بن رواحة. يعني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم صام في السفر. وجاءه رجل سأله قال أن هذا الشهر يقع في بعض أسفاري، فقال له النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: إن شئت صم وإن شئت فأفطر. وعندنا حديث آخر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول: ليس من البر الصيام في السفر. فأنا فصلت في المسألة. أنا قلت أنه إذا كان الصوم يكون شاقا عليه فلا كلام في أنه الأفضل له أن يفطر. لماذا؟ لأن قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: ليس من البر الصيام في السفر، في من كان الصوم شاقا وضارا له، لأنه رأى رجلا مغشيا عليه حتى أنه كان يظلل عليه، فقال لهم: ما هذا؟ فقالوا: هذا صائم. فقال: ليس من البر الصيام في السفر. فسبب قوله ذلك بسبب الضرر الذي ألم بذلك الشخص. فلو كان الصوم يضر الصائم ويضر المسافر ويتعبه جدا فلا خلاف في أنه الأفضل له ألا يصوم يفطر. لكن إذا تساوى الفطر والصيام، بمعنى أنه مسافر لو صام ما يتأثر. نعم، كيف يعني؟ ما فهمت. طيب خليني أغلق المسألة هذه وأجاوب على هذا السؤال، ذكرني بعد ما أغلق المسألة هذه. فإذا تساوى الفطر والصيام بمعنى أنه لو صام ما يتضرر، فهذا يجوز له الصوم ويجوز له الفطر، له أن يفعل ما يشاء. لكن نعم، في سفر يا حبيبنا. السفر في الطيارة سفر، وإن يكن إن شاء الله، يعني نفترض أن بيتك يطير، وإن يكن فهو سفر، والسفر قطعة من العذاب. ولو افترضنا أن بيتك يطير وأخذك إلى مصر، فأنت مسافر يا باشا، كل وافطر وما عندكش مشاكل. السفر اسمه سفر، في السيارة، في الطيارة، في الدراجة، فأنت مسافر. ماشي؟ أنت مسافر. نعم. في عطش ولا في جوع. طيب أنا أختصر لك أنا معاك، لكن عموما هذا يسمى سفر، سواء كان في الطائرة ولا سواء كان في الطيارة أو كان في أي شيء، فهذا يسمى سفر ويجوز لك أن تفطر فيه. ماشي؟ أهدى الله يرضى عليك، فهمت علي؟ فهذا يسمى سفر والإنسان يفطر فيه ولا بأس عليه. ماشي؟ لكن لو كان في السفر مضرة عليه ومشقة عليه فالأفضل له أن يفطر، وهذا ما قاله النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: ليس من البر الصيام في السفر. So what I was talking about the traveling, when someone is traveling, what should he do? Should he fast? We have a hadith from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam saying it's not righteousness to fast in the traveling. And then we have other hadith that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam fasted in the traveling. So how he says it's not righteousness to fast, and he did fast. So the answer for this is that when you travel, if you're traveling is going to cause that if you fast, you're going to be harmed and you're going to be very, very, very tired, so then you should not fast. And the reason why the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said is that righteousness to fast in the traveling, he saw a man who was out, he passed out, and he asked about him, and they said he is fasting. So then the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, is that righteousness to fast in the traveling? Meaning that if that harms you, so that's not righteousness. The deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ease. So take it easy. If it harms you, do not fast. But what's going to happen if there's no difference between fasting and not fasting in your traveling? Someone who's very strong, he's traveling, but if he fasts, that's not going to affect him. He feels strong and he functioned well, doing everything well. So such person, is up to him. He can fast and he can break his fast. There's no any problem. He can do whatever he wants to do, because a man asked the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ saying, "O Prophet of Allah, sometimes in my traveling, Ramadan falls in my traveling. So what should I do?" So then he told him, if you want to fast, you can fast. If you don't want to fast, there's no any problem. But if the fasting is harmful, so then you should not fast. أرجع لسؤالك. أنت قلت إنه فرق السفر وأنت في الطائرة. عموما نفترض أنك الآن على متن الطائرة وأنت تسافر من أمريكا، الوقت بين أمريكا ودولنا يختلف التوقيت، ماشي؟ لكن أنت ماذا تعمل؟ تمشي بتوقيتك الذي هو في الطائرة. عندما تصعد الطائرة، نفترض أنك صعدت الطائرة الساعة 3 ظهرا، وأنت في الطائرة ستغيب الشمس عليك، صحيح؟ فمتى ما غابت الشمس عليك فتفطر، هذا هو وقت الغروب. وأنت في الطائرة سائر، نفترض أنك طلعت في الليل وأنت عليكم السلام سائر في الطائرة، ستشرق عليك الشمس. متى ما طلعت الشمس من النافذة سترى هذا وقت الإمساك، فتمسك من ذلك الوقت. مع أنه الأفضل في الغالب عدم الفطر في السفر هو الأسهل وهو الأيسر، لأن هناك مشقة. غالبا السفر تصحبه مشقة، ليس من السهل السفر في الطائرة مثلا 12 ساعة و6 ساعات. فعموما الأفضل له أن يفطر إن كان الصوم يضره. لكن كيف يعرف التوقيت؟ يعرف التوقيت بتوقيته المحلي، وحتى في أوقات الصلاة عندما تكون في الطائرة كيف تعرف التوقيت؟ مكانك الذي أنت عليه. فوقت المغرب عندما تغرب الشمس ترى هذا من النافذة، الشروق والغروب تعرف، وهذا واضح من النافذة وسهل جدا. So the brother was asking a question, which is, if I'm traveling overseas, I know there is time difference between the states in Middle East or Muslim countries in general. So what should I do? You go with your local time. How? I'm leaving to Saudi Arabia, for example, and we taken off by 3 o'clock p.m. So once I'm in the plane, I'm going to reach a point where I'm going to see everything around me dark, meaning that is the time for the sunset. That's the time for making fitr for me. I go with my local time. I don't care about Saudi Arabia time or the US time. Whenever the time for sunset in the plane, that's the time I break my fasting. So it's very simple. And as I said in the beginning, always it is hard when you travel to fast. Always. It could be easy for some people, but in general, 80 to 90% for majority of people, it's hard to fast with traveling. Whether you're traveling by plane or by car or by any mean of transportation, it's always hard. So if it's hard on you, do not fast and break your fasting. When he comes back from your trip after Ramadan, you make up the days you missed in Ramadan. طيب، وإن نوى حاضر صيام يوم ثم سافر في أثنائه فله الفطر. Very important. And people always ask a question about this. I make the intention to leave, to travel. I'm traveling. So I'm leaving by 11 o'clock. So when should I break my fast? After Fajr, I was preparing my bag and suitcases and everything. But the time that I'm going to leave the town is 11 o'clock. I know that I'm leaving at 11 o'clock. So after Fajr, should I eat? Because anyway, I'm traveling? No. You should not eat till you leave the town. Why? Because your plan could change at any moment in not to travel. So after Fajr, stay fasting. You are fasting. Once you leave Philadelphia on 95, you can eat. You are traveling. You have started your journey. Because for any reason, your journey could be cancelled. And you do not have the knowledge of the future. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone knows the future. No one knows it except Him. Okay? So if someone is traveling, not because I'm traveling tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, so I don't make the sahur after Fajr, I eat breakfast because I'm leaving at 10 o'clock. No. I have to make my sahur and fast till the moment I leave the town. Once I leave the town, it is the time for me to make the fitr, to break my fast, to eat and to do everything I want to. فإخواني من أراد السفر متى يفطر؟ افترض أنه سيسافر الساعة 10 ونوى أنه يفطر في سفره الساعة 10 صباحا. متى يفطر؟ عليكم السلام. هل يقول أني مسافر الساعة 10 صباحا فسأصلي الفجر وأفطر، آكل وأشرب لأني مسافر لن أصوم هذا اليوم؟ لا يجوز لك الفطر حتى تغادر البلدة. لماذا؟ لأنه قد يتغير موعد سفرك، أو قد يلغى السفر أصلا ولا أحد له علم بالمستقبل. فإن كنت مسافرا الساعة 10 فأظل صائما حتى أغادر البلد. خرجت من البلد أنا مسافر، خرجت من فيلادلفيا أنا عن 95 ماشي على نيويورك، خلاص أنا بدأت في السفر فأفطر، آكل وأشرب وأفعل ما أشاء. لكن ما أقول أني مسافر الساعة 10 فما أتسحر وأصلي الفجر وأفطر، لا، وإنما أنتظر إلى أن أغادر البلدة. Something very important to understand, which is if someone is not fasting in Ramadan for any valid reason, if someone is not fasting in the day of Ramadan for any valid reason. An example, someone who is traveling, okay, he arrived at or let's say someone is traveling, he's not fasting, he can do anything, eating, drinking, doing anything he wants to do. Anything that's prohibited for the person who is fasting to do is allowed for him to do. Taking medication, eating, drinking, and the intimacy also. So, an example, someone is traveling with his wife. They arrived at 11 o'clock in the morning. We said that if you arrive from traveling, you do not have to keep fasting that day, because that excuse that allowed you not to fast that day is good for you for the whole day. And they arrived at 11 o'clock and they are home. They both were traveling and not fasting. So could we say they cannot intimate? No, they do not have any problem and they can intimate and do the jima', no problem. So whoever is not fasting for any valid reason, so all of the things that are prohibited for the Sa'im, for the fasting person, is allowed for him. Okay? Is allowed for him. So if someone came from traveling and is not fasting, the same thing with his wife, he can do anything, eating, drinking, and intimacy, and anything. Okay? يا إخواني من أحل أو من جاز له الصوم من جاز له الفطر لأي عذر شرعي معتبر فيجوز له الفطر ويجوز له فعل كل ما هو محظور على الصائم. فمثلا من كان مسافرا فله أن يأكل ويشرب ويفعل الجماع ويفعل ما يريد. ما نقول أنك في رمضان فما تفعل هذا، لا، يجوز لك أن تفعل كل ما هو محظور على الصائم. نفترض أن امرأة كان مسافرا مع أهلي مع زوجتي ثم وصل الساعة 11 صباحا، خلاص، وقلنا بأن المسافر إذا وصل إلى البلد ما يمسك وإنما يكمل فطره ويقضي ذلك اليوم بعد رمضان، فوصل إلى البلد مع أهله، هل نقول أنه ما يجامع أهله؟ له أن يجامع أهله لأنه ليس بصائم، لأنه ليس بصائم، وكل ما هو محظور على الصائم حلال له وجائز له. طيب، وإن أفطرت حامل أو مرضع خوفا على أنفسهما قضتا فقط وعلى ولديهما قضتا وأطعمتا لكل يوم مسكينا. This is one of the very important masail also, which is about the pregnant woman and the woman that's nursing, that breastfeeding. It's allowed for him in Islam if fasting weaken them, that they do not have to fast. If the fasting affects the mother not to produce enough milk for the child, she doesn't have to fast. If fasting with nursing or breastfeeding the baby is going to weaken her body, she doesn't have to fast. But the khilaf in the mas'ala is that the mu'allif, what he's saying is that if they did not fast because they are afraid to be harmed, the harm to affect them, not to affect the baby, so in such situation they just make up the day, these days that they did not fast after Ramadan. If it's for the fear not the baby to be harmed, so in such case they have to make up and they have to make the feeding. And we have a big khilaf among the scholars in different opinions about it, about the masala. I don't want to dive into the khilaf. So the summary of that, whether the pregnant woman or the breastfeeding woman breaks her fasting because she's afraid of to be harmed or the baby to be harmed, well, she has to do just one thing, which is making up the days she did not fast in Ramadan. Simple. She doesn't have to make any feeding, because we do not have a specific text from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ saying that she has to make up the days, and also she has to make the ta'am, she has to feed. We do not have a text from the Prophet nor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So any breastfeeding woman or any pregnant woman did not fast because she was afraid not to be harmed or the baby to be harmed, what she has to do after Ramadan, just make up these days and there's no any problem. In one situation, she can just do the it'am without the qada, without making up the days she did not fast in Ramadan. An example, let's say she is pregnant now. In Ramadan, she can't fast because she's pregnant. After Ramadan, she's going to deliver her baby. And after the delivering the baby also, she can't fast. So she cannot make up what she did not fast in Ramadan. And that's going to keep on being with her for 2 years, breastfeeding the baby. And the next Ramadan is going to come, and she did not yet make up the previous Ramadan. And the third Ramadan is going to come, and she did not yet finish the 2 previous Ramadan. So now she has 3 Ramadan, which is too much on her. 90 days. So in such situation, she is like the ajiz, the person who cannot fast, she just make the it'am for the 90 days. If she is in a situation that the fasting is going to be accumulated to reach a number that she cannot, it's only hard on her to do. 90 days is too much. So in such situation, she just make the feeding and there's no any problem, inshallah. Clear. If it's not clear, ikhwani, اسألوا. What I said, is it clear? واضح؟ يا اخوان نتكلم عن المرضع والحامل إذا أفطرتها. طبعا المسألة فيها خلاف طويل. الاختصار في المسألة ما نريد أن ندخل في الخلاف أنهما يقضيان بدون إطعام. فالمرضع والحامل إذا خافتا على أنفسهما أو خافتا على ولديهما وأفطرتا في رمضان ما يجب عليهما أن يفعلا أن يقضيا ولا إطعام عليهما. طيب في بعض الحالات قد فقط يطعمان بدون القضاء إذا كثرت الأيام التي يجب عليهم أن يقضوها. مثلا كانت حاملا الآن وجاء رمضان هذه السنة 2017 وما استطاعت أن تصوم لأنها حامل، والحمل يضعف جسدها وتستطيع الصيام. بعد رمضان ستلد، بعد أن تلد سترضع، والرضاع أيضا يشق عليها أن تصوم، فلن تقضي رمضان 2017 إلى أن يأتي رمضان 2018، وأيضا في 2018 هي أيضا ترضع لن تصوم، ويأتي 2019 أيضا وهي ترضع. فالآن 3 رمضانات ويشق عليها قضاء هذه ال3 رمضانات. فماذا عليها أن تفعل؟ تطعم عن هذه 90 يوما، لأنه يشق عليها أن تقضي هذه 90 يوما. واضح إن شاء الله يا إخوان؟ نعم، تكلمنا عن الإطعام أنه الأسهل أنه تطعم كل مسكين أكلا يشبع بطنه بغض النظر عن نوع الأكل من قوت أهل البلد. تصنع طعاما مطبوخا في صحن وتضعه وتعطيه لكل مسكين بحيث أن هذا الطعام يشبع بطنه حتى الشبع. هذه من المسائل التي فيها الخلاف، لكن نترك هذا، نخلينا في الإطعام لأنه في خلاف طويل. وبعض العلماء يقول ننظر إلى مقاصد الشريعة، لأنه في بعض الدول الناس لا يحتاجون الطعام، لكن نص الله سبحانه وتعالى الإطعام في القرآن وكذا، ففي خلاف طويل وكبير في المسألة. لكن من العلماء من يحل هذا، أنك تعطيهم المال، فإن فعلت هذا إن شاء الله ما عليك بأس. أعطيت المال بدل الإطعام إن شاء الله أيضا ما عليك بأس بإذن الله، لأن بعض العلماء قالوا ننظر إلى مقاصد الشريعة وهو سد حاجة هذا المسكين. فقد يكون هذا المسكين في هذا الزمن لا يحتاج الطعام، عنده الطعام وإنما يحتاج حاجيات أخرى، فنعطيه المال ويسد بها حاجته نظرا إلى مقاصد. نعم،
وجبتين عن كل يوم.
كيف يعني وجبتين عن كل يوم؟ إطعام مسكين عن كل يوم بعد رمضان. أنت ممكن تطعم بعد رمضان، وقتها ليس بالصيام، سواء إفطار أو غداء أو عشاء. نعم، وجبة واحدة لكل مسكين. من الممكن أن تدعو 30 مسكينا وتطعمهم في جلسة واحدة، وهذا تكلمنا عنه بالتفصيل في الدرس الماضي. طيب، then he says ويجب تعيين النية من الليل لصوم كل يوم واجب. This is one of the very important مسائل, which is for the obligatory fasting. The fasting that's wajib, mandatory, like fasting Ramadan. And also an example fasting أيام النذر. What does a nadhr mean? Someone who says, if Allah gives me a house, I'm going to fast 3 days. And Allah gives him the house. That's nadhr. And that fasting for the 3 days is mandatory upon him. And also another example of mandatory fasting, if someone did not fast in Ramadan and he's making up these days after Ramadan. So this fasting is obligatory. So any fasting that's mandatory, you have to make the niyyah for fasting that day before the day. So if tomorrow I'm fasting because it's Ramadan, I have to make the niyyah tonight before tomorrow. أنا جاي إن شاء الله. Okay, so you have to make the intention from the night that I'm fasting the next day, because the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم said من لم يبيت الصيام قبل طلوع الفجر فلا صيام له. A person who does not make the niyyah before the Fajr, so his siyam is not accepted. He doesn't have any siyam, meaning that his siyam is not accepted. But the scholar says, say you can make the niyyah for the entire month of Ramadan. From the last day of Sha'ban, you make the niyyah for the entire month, and you're okay. You make the niyyah for the entire month. But that does not apply to the Sunnah fasting. Fasting Mondays and Thursdays. Fasting the white days, 13, 14, and the 15th of any Islamic Hijrah calendar month, any Islamic Hijrah calendar month, and also fasting the day of Arafah, fasting the day of Ashura. Okay, such fasting is sunnah, is not wajib. So you can make the need during the day. Why? Because the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, sometimes he enters the house and he asks his family, asking his wives, do you have any food? They said no, and then he says, I'm صائم, I'm fasting. And he was doing that only in the nafil fasting, the fasting that's not obligatory, like Monday. But provided after Fajr you did not eat anything. So let's say tomorrow is Monday. Today is Sunday, tonight is Sunday, and tomorrow is Monday. Okay? Monday we should fast it. Monday and Friday and Thursday. So after Fajr tomorrow, I didn't eat anything. I didn't eat, I didn't drink until 11 o'clock a.m. Then I make the niyyah, I want to fast. You can fast it, no problem. From the middle of the day. Provided you didn't eat anything from Adhan al-Fajr all the way to the moment you make the niyyah to fast. Okay? All the way to the moment you make the niyyah to fast. So this is clear, inshallah. But your ajr, your hasanat, your reward is not going to be the same as the person who started the fasting from the beginning of the day. Will not be the same because you started fasting from the middle of the day. So this is inshallah clear. يا إخواني صيام الفرض رمضان صيام النذر مثلا قضاء رمضان لابد أن نبيت النية فيه من الليل قبل اليوم ننوي في الليلة. فمثلا غدا رمضان فلا بد أن تنوي صيام الليلة قبل غد، ولرمضان تغني أو تكفي عنه نية واحدة لسائر الشهر. أما صيام النفل فيجوز عقد النية فيه أثناء اليوم. فغدا يوم الاثنين افترض أنك ما أكلت شيئا بعد الفجر إلى الساعة 10 ثم نويت أن تصوم، لك أن تصوم لأنه صيام نفل. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يدخل على أهله ويسألهم إن كان هناك طعام، فإن قالوا لا قال أنا صائم. فإذا ما أكلت شيئا من وقت الفجر إلى الوقت الذي نويت فيه الصوم من النهار فيجوز لك أن تصوم، لكن إن أكلت شيئا ما يجوز لك الصوم لأنك أتيت شيئا من مفطرات الصيام فلا تصوم، فلا تصوم. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يعني ما كان يصوم شعبان كله، يعني ما كان يصوم الشهر الوحيد الكامل الذي يصومه رمضان. عائشة رضي الله عنها روت أنه كان يصوم شعبان كله إلا قليلا. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أيضا قال لا تقدموا رمضان بصيام يوم أو يومين إلا رجل كان يصوم صوما فليصوم. فلا ينبغي لك أن تصوم الشهر كله، ولك أن تصوم أغلب الشهر، لكن ليس الشهر كله. الشهر الوحيد الذي صامه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بأكمله هو رمضان، وهو الشهر الواجب وصيامه واجب. طيب. Then he says ومن نوى الإفطار أفطر. ومن نوى الإفطار أفطر. What does this mean? Someone is fasting. Okay? He is fasting. In the middle of the day, he feels sick. And he decides to break his fasting. I'm not fasting. I have broken my fast. But he did not eat anything. 2 hours later, he said, no, okay, I'm fasting again. He cannot do that. Whenever he makes the niyyah that he's breaking his fasting, that's it, it's done. He cannot fast that day anymore. Why? Because the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Act of worship in anything we do in Islam is linked with the niyyah. So even if you do not eat, you have already made the intention that you're not fasting anymore. You're not fasting anymore. So that day is finished for you and you have to make it up after Ramadan. But in Siyamun Nafil, you can fast again. Why? Who can tell me? You can break your fasting by making the niyyah, and if you do not eat anything, you can fast again. Yes. But in Ramadan, even if you do not eat anything, you cannot keep fasting. Now. لا معلش إجابة حلوة لكن لأنه في الصيام التطوع تجوز النية في أثناء النهار. We say that in the nafil fasting you can make the niyyah in the middle of the day. So if it's tomorrow is Monday, I didn't make the niyyah tonight to fast tomorrow. It's 10 o'clock, I didn't eat anything. I can make the niyyah from that point on and make the fasting and fast. And my fasting is acceptable, but my reward is less than someone who started the fasting from the beginning of the day. So if I'm fasting, nafil fasting, tomorrow is Monday, I make the niyyah I'm fasting. After Salatul Fajr, I'm not eating. Okay, then by 7 o'clock I make the niyyah, I'm not fasting. Because the nafil fasting, you don't have to keep on fasting. The Prophet Muhammad says, الصائم المتطوع أمير الصائم المتطوع أمير نفسه إن شاء صام وإن شاء أفطر ولا شيء عليه. The person who's fasting, then an obligatory fasting, he is a prince or amir, meaning that he control the fasting. He can keep on fasting and he can break it at any moment. So it's 7 o'clock, I decide I'm not fasting anymore. I have an appointment, I have to do a lot of things, so the fasting may weaken my body, so I'm not fasting. That's at 7 o'clock. Then I didn't eat anything from 7 all the way till 10 o'clock. Then the appointment is canceled. I'm not going to do whatever I was planning to do. And the reason I made the niyyah to break the fasting, I don't have it anymore, it's canceled. So can I again fast? I can fast, no problem, because it's nafil fasting, it's not obligatory fasting. Because the sunnah fasting, we can make the niyyah in the middle of the day. So inshallah this is clear. But for Ramadan, no. Because you cannot make the niyyah during the day. You have to make the niyyah at night. So let's say I'm traveling. It's Ramadan. So I left the town at 10 o'clock. And I'm not fasting because I have started my journey and I have left the town. And I drank and ate. I arrived at JFK. They told me the flight is canceled. No, I didn't eat anything. I make the niyyah that I'm not fasting anymore because I'm traveling. I'm on the 95 driving to JFK. When I reached JFK, they told me they canceled the flight. So I can't say because I didn't eat anything from the moment I make the niyyah that I'm breaking my fasting, so I'm going to fast again. No, it's done. Because Ramadan, you cannot initiate the niyyah during the day. You have to do that at night. But the case is not the same with the nafil, with the sunnah fasting. كيف نسي؟ أعيد السؤال ما فهمت معلش. نسى النية، لكن هو في قرائن تدل على النية في رمضان مثلا، يعني في قرائن تدل على النية. أنت تسحر هذه نية، تسحر هذه نية. لا غالبا في نية في القلب، هذه النية التي دفعته لأن يتسحر. هم قالوا لا، لما يأتي رمضان غدا رمضان تنوي أنك تصوم الشهر كله، لكن هناك قرائن تدل على النية. أنت الآن عندما تأتي تصلي لله هل لابد أن تقول النية؟ خلاص النية معقودة في قلبك، ولأجلها أتيت المسجد وصلاتك لله. فحتى نية الصيام لا يجب عليك أنك تجلس مع نفسك ثم تنطقها في قلبك أو تنطقها بلسانك أني صائم لك يا ربي غدا، لا يجب عليك هذا. هناك قرائن تدل على أنت سحرت فهذه نية، تسحرت فهذه نية أنك ستصوم، أو انعقدت النية أنك ستصحو وتتسحر لكن ما صحوت نمت، تعقدت النية أنك ستتسحر لأنك ستصوم، فهذه نية. وأمر النية سهل، لا نتشدد فيه ونبالغ فيه حتى نصل إلى الوسوسة. كثير ناس عندهم وساوس في النية. النية بسيطة، غالبا أنت ناوٍ هذا، تسحرت أو نمت باكرا كي تصحو وتتسحر، هذه نية وتكفي. وإن نويت هذا من أول الشهر هذا يكفي ولا بأس. وفي الغالب الواحد ما يصوم إلا بالنية، لابد أن ينوي. كنت صائما غدا الاثنين، غالبا تأكل كثيرا أو تنام باكرا وتصحو لكي تتسحر، لابد أن تنوي هذا في الغالب. لكن عموما صيام النفل لا تجب فيه النية. So the brother asked a question saying, if you forget the niyyah, but the niyyah you cannot forget it, how? Because you have other things indicate that you already made the niyyah. An example, in Ramadan, you do not have to sit with yourself and say it inside you that I'm fasting tomorrow for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or to utter it, saying it. You don't have to. Once you wake up for the suhoor, that's an intention. Waking up for the suhoor is an intention. You already have the intention to fast. So that's an intention. Sleeping early to wake up for the suhoor, that's an intention, even if you miss the suhoor. But you slept early. So always there's things that linked with the niyyah. You don't do anything except if you have the niyyah. So usually the niyyah is something easy. We should not overthink about it and exaggerate about it, and we reach the waswasa. Some people, they have waswasa. They pray, I didn't make the niyyah, let me repeat my prayer. You come to the masjid because you are a slave for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you come into the masjid to pray for His sake. So that's the reason that brought you to the masjid. You do not have before the prayer to sit with yourself or to stand and say it inside you. You don't have to come into the masjid usual because you want to pray for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So take it easy. Waking up and making the suhoor, that's a niyyah. That's a niyyah. So this is inshallah, this is something very, very simple. So what matters is whenever you make the niyyah that you're breaking your fast, that niyyah is considered, you do not have to eat or drink for your fasting to be broken, for your fasting to be invalidated, to be not valid. Okay? So once you make the niyyah, that invalidates the fasting. Yes? I can't hear you. Can you speak up, please? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But you didn't eat anything after Fajr. So as long as you did not eat anything, you can fast at any point of the day, because it's nafil, it's not obligatory fasting. What matters is that you do not eat anything from the time of Adhan al-Fajr all the way to the moment you make the niyyah to fast. Okay? طبعا إخواني الكلام الذي كنا نقوله من نوع الإفطار أفطر، أن الإفطار معقود بالنية، يعني لا يشترط أن المرء يأكل ويشرب حتى يعني صومه يعتبر لاغ. فمن كان صائما في رمضان ثم أحس بوجع قليل أو أحس بوجع شديد، عنده حمى مثلا والصوم شاق عليه، فنوى أنه أفطر، لست بصائم لأني مريض، والمريض يجوز له الفطر، فما أكل وما شرب، ثم بعد ساعتين قال لا أنا ما أكلت وما شربت والآن أشعر بصحة أفضل فسأصوم وأواصل صومي. لا، النية التي عقدتها أبطلت صومك، ولا يجوز لك الرجوع للصوم، لأن في رمضان أو في صيام الواجب لا يجوز لك عقد النية أثناء النهار. أما صيام النفل فيجوز هذا. فهذا إن شاء الله واضح. يعني بطلان الصوم معقود بالنية، معقود بالنية. فحتى الأكل والشرب إن أكلت وشربت ناسيا لا يبطل الصوم، لأنك ما نويت إبطال الصوم. خلاص يا إخواني؟ فإبطال الصوم معقود بالنية، فمن نوى أنه أفطر أفطر. طيب, this is all what we have for tonight. And inshallah next week we will talk about مفطرات الصيام, things that invalidate the fasting, things that if you do them your fasting is broken and it's not valid anymore. We will talk about things that are we will talk about the intimacy and also the masturbation and things that children should not hear it. So please, next week do not bring your children with you, because we're going to talk about the intimacy and things that children should not hear it. So we want to speak comfortably. So keep your kids home next week, please. Keep them home next week, because what we're going to be discussing is something that kids should not hear. إن شاء الله إخواني الدرس القادم سيكون في مفطرات الصيام، وسنتكلم عن أمور لا ينبغي للأطفال سماعها، الجماع والعادة السرية وأشياء كثيرة لها علاقة بالأمور التي لا ينبغي الصغار أن يسمعوها، فخلوا الأولاد في البيت. خلاص يا إخواني، خلوهم في البيت حتى نناقش المسائل بكل حرية وبكل أريحية تامة إن شاء المولى عز وجل. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يبارك لنا فيما سمعنا، وصل إلهي كلما در شارق على خاتم الرسل الكرام الأطائب.